All right, listen. This next person on the show was actually our first guest here. Everybody loves her. Every time I go anywhere, people are like, "Where's Luenell?" Luenell is in the building, and she's here with me, Damage and Blue. Luenell, look, I've known you since I think I've known you. I've known you longer than everybody I know except for Queen Latifah. You literally, I've known you since I was maybe 16 years old.
Yes. It was a little hot ass.
What was Jason like when he was 16? I need to know.
No,
Wait. I'm sorry,
we
Jason.
know we're not
Yes.
going there. We're not going there. You got to read the book. But look, Luenell was the first guest on this show that showed us the potential of what this show could be. It was wild and fun, but it was literally like me catching up with my homie. And then she was the first guest on our show when we went national. And I'm mad that you weren't able to be our first show when we got picked up by Fox Soul because you had just been on Fox Soul. But either way, like you'll always be a staple here at the show and in my life. So I just wanted to welcome you back.
That's awesome, Jason, because everybody don't get that kind of love from you.
Really don't. Or be in my life that long either. Because or be in my life that long. I mean, we're talking like 30.
Oh yeah, that part. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been pretty consistent for like probably 30 years now, you know.
But I also think it's the what you see is what you get vibration. You know, like what you see with you is what you get. What you see with me is what you
That's
get.
true.
Like
That's true.
you don't like it. We ain't gonna change for nobody. It is what it is.
That's right. I don't like the fake shit. It makes my stomach hurt, and I can spot it and smell it within minutes. And now we've got a problem because either the fake person has to go or I do, because it's going to be a problem. I can't take the fake shit. So it is, like you said, what it is.
Damage Blue, one of the greatest pieces of advice I got from somebody was from Luenell. And this was when I was first here in LA. She would call and check up on me because I used to be at every fucking party. I used to be around every fucking celebrity. I wanted to be everywhere all the time. And I never understood why people didn't appreciate me more, you know? And she said to me one day, she said, you know, baby, one day you're going to learn that you don't have to be the staple of every event, but you can become the event. And it hit me so hard when I tell you I literally stopped going everywhere and only I felt like I needed to go. And so I want to thank you, Lena, for giving me that. How did you get to that idea that somebody doesn't have to be everywhere to be respected or acknowledged, but they need to figure out working on becoming valuable so people acknowledge them when they show up?
Well, I got to tell you, I learned that as well. But I learned it from a very unlikely person who was not in showbiz. It was my husband. And my husband said, make them crave to see you. Don't be so common. Don't be everywhere. Make them, when you show up, it's a big fucking thing. Don't go to every little thing. Every little thing don't deserve you. And he told me that. And that's when you got that black love, that support, you know, and he told me that. And then I stopped doing that. And it did become a bigger deal when I did show up, because even the person whose event it was, they're like, oh, my event must be the shit. She showed up here to mine, you know?
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned that, because there's something that you showed up at recently that's completely shocked me at 2:00 in the morning. My best friend and I loved the original Coming to America. And so we waited until the stroke of midnight to watch it. And for whatever reason, we had no idea that you were going to be on it. When we saw you, we literally started clapping like Hercules. We got so excited. We're like, oh, Luenell, this is about to turn up. And I was like, wait a minute. There's something about just looking at your face that brings Black people joy. Like, you literally make people happy on site. And I guess my question is, how have you ever had any regrets or had an opportunity that you missed out for being too authentic? Because with you, you're a straight shooter. I love it, but this industry is so fake sometimes. I'm just in awe that you still thrive in the middle of all this fraudulence, for lack of a better word.
Thank you. Well, as far as the recognition part, it is cool until it's not. You know, I am still a mother, and you know, my daughter has had to share me with the public since she was born. You know, it's never a meal that goes without someone coming to the table or whatever like that. So sometimes that can be a bit much, but guess what? The alternative is that you don't have it and nobody fucking with you and don't care that you're there. But I also know this, and take it for what it's worth. It may sound conceited, but this is a fact. I watched so many old movies and stuff when I was growing up and I was by myself that I learned what the it factor is. And
Mm.
I just happen to have the it factor. Yes, people do get happy on sight when they see me and they want to hug me and they want to kiss me. Thank God for the goddamn Rona because these motherfuckers was about to kill me in these streets with their fucking perfume and cheap ass makeup and fucking hairspray and shit hugging all over me, and it wasn't sanitary. And I had just started to not have meet and greets like that before the Rona came because it was just a matter of time because I have really severe allergies. I can't even sleep on down pillows in the hotel. You know, it makes my eyes swell up and my lungs swell up. So it's been sort of a good thing for me to be able to keep some distance, you know, from people like that.
I want to
Well,
speak
speaking
to
of
you
coming
about.
to
Oh, sorry.
America, speaking of coming to America too, you and Leslie Jones worked together on that project. I know that you guys had some disagreement that had come out of being on tour with Cat Williams, and you talked about recently, like, you know, making up or making amends and getting through that. How important was that for you to be able to do that, or was it just luck and timing?
Well, I didn't give a shit if it happened or not, but it was best that it did happen, you know, because I had been living for many years happily with this beef that was hers, not mine. So I
Ooh.
didn't have anything to be tripping on. I didn't care whether we did or not. But for the sake of the film, for the integrity of the film, for the integrity of us as Black actresses, it was best that we were able to put her differences aside and me explain things that have been misunderstood over the years. And so it turned out better because we did play sisters after all. Shit.
But did she come to
You
you?
did.
I mean, how did it? Did you walk on set and look at her like, "Bitch, stay over there on your side of the street," or did?
No, the first day on set, and I knew that there was stank vibe between us, but the first day on set, you know, I saw her and she was already in wardrobe and she had this little wig on and looked kind of cute, you know, compared to what some styles that had been on her previously. But this wig looked really good. And I said, "Hey, what's up, Leslie? You ought to keep your hair like that after the show. It looks really nice." And she didn't say shit to me. So I said, okay. It didn't take me no more. I said, okay, that's cool. I got you. Got the vibe. But then the director, Craig Brewer, had asked if we could have a conversation because we did have to play sisters and we did have to interact. And if she wasn't speaking to me, how we gonna do that? So, you know, I won't say who came to who, but we had a conversation. It was very nice. She was able to get some years old stuff off her chest. I received that as two Black women, and we are able to go head on. Now, are we going to be spooning anytime soon? I don't think so, but we definitely can work together again at this point. You know,
I love it.
I
Well,
think she actually did the best work of her life and career in coming to America. That's what I
Oh
think. That's
wow.
my
oh,
opinion.
nice. Well, that's
Yeah.
you know that's coming off the heels of another comedian. Some woman just put her on blast saying that she stole her jokes. Do people still steal jokes in comedy these days, especially with like the internet and social media and people being able to put viral clips up of work that they're doing?
I mean, I guess so. See, with me being the original bad girl of comedy and being as original as I am, it would be hard to steal my material without the public actually knowing. The public's not stupid no more. They know whose material belongs to who, just like they know whose record is whose. And if you've been, you know, known for a certain thing, you've been doing it for years, and somebody new comes up and literally does your material, it's known. So you can do that, but you're gonna look like a hack. I have had people do material that's very similar to mine at times, but I don't think that I'm the only one with a certain opinion about something. You know, somebody else may see something exactly the same way I do. But if they word it, you know, word for word what I say, then that's when we have problem. In the old days, it would rate a beat down. You get your ass whooped for stealing
Damn.
somebody's material, but you know, anybody doing that no more. You just can look fucking stupid, and I'm still gonna be the baddest bitch. You know.
Have you ever
Yes.
have you ever seen somebody's performance and been inspired by something they said and it created a new joke for you? Is that okay in the comedy world?
Well, yeah, inspiration comes from anywhere. You can totally be inspired by another comedian. You know, Like there's a girl named Gina Yashere. She's black. She's from London, and she came over here and she currently writes for Bob Hart's Abishola, which is like this African show that's really fucking funny. I watched it on the plane the other day. Got renewed for a second or third season, and watching comics from somewhere that's not like America, like watching a Jamaican comedian or a comedian, maybe even from the Deep South, or a comedian from New York or from London, that inspires me because that's different than the normal shit that you hear every day.
Mm.
That's so dope
Now,
that you mentioned Gina. I'm a big fan of hers, but
Oh, cool.
she's amazing, but she tends to sometimes the comedy tends to get a little political, and I know some comedians don't like being political while other comedians make it part of their thing. How do you feel about putting social commentary into your comedy, because the whole world feels woke these days? It's almost hard to avoid it.
Well, I have a little social commentary in my act. I would be remiss as a black person not to, considering what we've gone through within the last year, yesterday, if you feel me,
Mhm.
Mhm.
So of course I have some political commentary, but my political commentary comes from the standpoint of all black and brown people. So I'm a little in the Paul Mooney vein right there, where I'm a little preachy, but it's cold blooded, but it's funny. You know how Paul used to tell shit and be so cold, and you'd be like doing like this, and the white folks be like, "Oh my god," but we're like, "Ooh, cause that's so cold." Yeah, that's me. That's how I do that.
well, speaking of Paul Mooney, you were close to him, and I don't know if it was you that I called, and I think I called you and asked you if you could help me get an interview with him recently. Was it you?
I don't think
Was it
so,
you or
but
Tiffany? You or Tiffany? I had just recently called somebody and said, "Could you help me get a interview with him?" And they were like, "I don't think it's gonna happen." Then he recently passed. I know you guys were close. What do you think about his impact on comedy, and what do you think he's leaving behind?
well, I think he's one of the last of the great ones in that era of Richard and Red Fox and even Cosby and stuff like that. He
Absolutely.
used to be at the comedy store when nothing but Jews were allowed in there. He helped crack or kick the door open to blacks being able to come up in there and wreck shop. And henceforth, we ended up with a night called Fat Tuesday that was very popular and went on for years. Um, Paul Mooney is also one of the last of the don't give a fuck people. I come from that school. He don't give a fuck. He's never given a fuck. He said what he wanted to say, like it or not. And there was a definite market for people who wanted to hear what the fuck he had to say, because oftentimes they felt the same damn way. And that's why people go to comedy shows to hear, does anybody feel like me? And Mooney is just like I said, one of the greats. He was my inspiration. He was my mentor. He was my father. He was my brother. He was my everything. I'm glad to have been by his side when he started, ailing a little bit towards the end of his stand-up appearances. And I had his back, and it's well documented. We're both from Oakland. We've had a relationship for probably 30 years.
Mm.
So I'm very, touched by his passing. But hey, we all got to ride that bus one day.
See, when I think of you as one of the greats. I always, even when me and Tiffany are talking, I always talk about you, and the other person I think of that just comes to mind is Monique. In terms of like raw comedy, I remember watching you when you came to Stockton. The shit you were saying, I was like, she need to go to jail. This is, you know, they used to.
It's still that way. It's still that
I
way.
will never forget one of the jokes you said when you were telling the story about a conversation you were having with your daughter about her gay father or something, and the way you told it, though, the storytelling.
My daughter's father is not gay, by the way, but I might have said that. My daughter's father very, very not gay, because I don't sleep with gay men.
No,
Obviously, and make
it
babies.
was it
Just
was a joke. It
FYI.
was a joke. It was a joke. But with the way you
Oh,
were telling the joke so effortlessly, and your storytelling ability, and then just the punchlines be so crazy. I'm wondering, like, what do you think about cancel culture? Like, I feel like you
Mhm.
can't say or do anything now. When you look at an Eddie Murphy Raw, you look at your, stand up. It's very different than the political correctness that I feel is eroding our industry right now. What do you think about it?
well. you can strive to be a comedian or you can strive to be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
See, I strive to be great. And to be great, you cannot give a fuck about a cancel culture. You're letting the you're letting people who don't know you follow you because cancel culture are new people. Our fans have been our fans for 25 and 30 years, loyal. So cancel culture is new people. You can't allow them to come in and ruin your whole legacy by one motherfucking statement. Your ride or dies have to outnumber the cancel culture people. That's the only way that could work. And if you are worried about being canceled, then you need to go and get a day job and say fuck it any goddamn way with your scary ass.
Do you feel like it's going to be a reset sometime soon where it will get back to that culture of people be able to say how they feel and everybody doesn't have to be hypersensitive? Do you feel like it's about to get to that point? Because I feel like we're hitting like this peak of this sensitivity. How do you feel about it?
Well, we're there now. Like I say, if you have the balls to not give a shit, you know, I have done things on Instagram before that got me drugged. But if you sit up there and read it, yeah, you might get in your feeling. Just delete the shit, and about 2 or 3 days, it's gonna be gone on to the next fucking scandal with the next motherfucker. You just cannot allow a computer and shit that's in there to run your life. Now, if these people was coming up to you in your face in the street, then we would have problems. But you can't let the internet shit get to you. But you really only understand that as you get older and get more wisdom. Because for people younger generation, what the internet says is everything. It's their church and shit. They live by that shit.
Well, speaking of cancel culture, when you see what's happening to Ellen, she was everybody's sweetheart, this nice, lovable person that, everybody loved and all that. And then come to find out she was Cruella DeVille behind the scenes, allegedly. When you see what's happening with
Allegedly.
her, what you think? I mean, did you know her?
I did not know her, however. I did get hired for a project that she was producing. And Ellen at the time was number 2 in daytime. Wendy was number 1 and remains there. And when it got and her I don't want to say the demographic of her crew, but I'll tell you off the air the type of people that were working there. Um, yeah, all white. It's just the beginning of it, and I was the only black person for like, you know, for like as far as I could see. And when it got around that I was Wendy's girl, because I am, they made up a lie and got me fired. Now I don't get fired from gigs, okay? I get brought in, but this was the first time that I had experienced that. Now, if her people that were around her are any indication of how she was, then yeah, I can believe this shit. You know, I find it very unfortunate because I loved Ellen. I wanted to be on Ellen. I wanted to dance with Ellen. I wanted Ellen to be my friend. But if your staff is fucked up, the apple don't fall far from the tree. The fish tank from the neck down. So
That's true. No, you
she got enough money. She can sit her ass down, spend some time with Portia, produce some shit. Sit down for a while.
you brought up Wendy, and I was just on Wendy's show this week, and she always talks about you on the show, and it's funny that she and I have our relationship, and you and her have your relationship, and I don't even know if she knows our relationship. But what do you think makes it to where you and her are so close, and she relies on you to talk to when she's talking through or working through things? And where do you think her and Nene went wrong?
Ooh.
Round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that when you are in a position of power, as Miss Williams is, when you are extremely wealthy, like Miss Williams is, and she's from wherever the fuck it is, she is in
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey.
But you were in Jersey as a privileged girl. I think that it may be actually refreshing to have a whole black ass girlfriend like me that keeps it 100 and don't pull no punches and don't give a shit about none of that. I think that She appreciates my bluntness because she's very blunt, as we all know. I think she appreciates my respect because, say what you will, I do respect her greatly. Because all the odds were stacked against her to ever make it to television. I never even thought they would put nobody with no titties that big on daytime TV. So how wrong I was. But I guess maybe that's it. And if she talks to me, she knows I'm gonna, I'm like an old sage. I'm older than she is, and she's lost her mother as well. So I don't know, maybe like an auntie type of vibe she might feel. I really don't know because we don't get all warm and fuzzy like that and shit. The other question.
When her
What was the other
when her
question?
when her and Nene fell out, I just recently interviewed Nene. It hasn't come out yet, but I told her that I saw that relationship falling apart before it even really started. What did you think?
Well, I thought it was fake from the get go, as it was,
Ooh.
and I thought it was just a screen grab for both of them. Certainly didn't hurt Nene to be palling around with Wendy. Certainly didn't hurt Wendy to be palling around with Nene. It came for a season. They both used each other. They both said fuck you," and parted and went on about their ways. I mean, simple.
I love Luenell.
What do you
I
think
just
I
about?
love
love,
Lunel
I
so
Wait,
much.
wait,
love
wait.
it.
What do you think about Jocelyn when she came on the show? Did you watch that train wreck?
Oh, that was
Yes, I
messy.
did. When people command respect, you don't have to command respect. If you've earned it, then you get it automatically. And I think they're trying to push and tell somebody uh, that you need to put some respect on my name when you're talking to somebody who's in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, somebody who is a producer, somebody who's been on television, somebody who's won Emmys, who's somebody who's never done reality TV, and somebody like that. You talking to that person on their show for just a screen grab. They know that it's going to genre attention. They need attention for their television show, which I've never seen. Look like stripper class or something like that. But that's I'm not surprised. Jocelyn has been the same person since we've ever met her. And she's had some really fucking funny moments at other people's expense. So I mean, hell, Wendy knew who the fuck she was booking when she booked her.
All right, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it did work out for both of them too because it did numbers and everybody
Yeah,
watched it and we're
of course, and that was the goal.
yeah,
There's no bad publicity. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So they did it. I got a lot of celebrities. I had one in my house today that I have great relationships with, and I don't go out to be seen with them. Like we do a lot of shit at the crib. I
What?
prefer my real relationships to be real. I don't have to flaunt. Hey, look, we're friends. I mean, that's suspect out the gate.
Who
You
was
know
it? Who?
who? That was at my house today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Darius McCrary.
Oh yeah, there is. How's he been?
Eddie Winslow, I love him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait. Hold on. I've known
So
you
rumors get
for too long.
started.
Hold on. I've known you for too long. You got all new hair. Your makeup is
Hmm.
speed. You glowing. You losing weight. Everything. What's going on with you and Darius? Y'all cuddling?
Well, I have a YouTube show myself, and it's called Hey Luenell. And actually, he came in about a third of the way from the ending of the show. And if anybody cares to go to Hey Luenell on YouTube and see the chemistry between us, then you can judge for yourself what type of relationship you think we have. But we're very, very good friends.
Hmm.
Oh, that was a masterful response. I feel like you're like Jason, where you know everybody. Like just hearing you tell these stories. Is there anybody that you've ever wanted to work with that you've never had a chance to, aside from Ellen, obviously?
Well, I would be biting off more than I could chew, I know. But I really would like to work with Robert De Niro, since he has such an affinity for black women any old way. I would love to be in his presence, possibly end up in his stable, because he gives bitches restaurants and shit.
Okay.
Wait, so you would fuck Bob De Niro?
Oh my god.
Today. Today.
today.
That's not what I
If
expected.
if if I could get a restaurant.
Oh, okay, city girls. I love
No,
it.
he get
Well,
he
yeah,
gives restaurants. Tribeca 1 and 2. That's his ex-wife's restaurants. He got kids. He got legacy shit for his kids. So why can't I?
okay, look, so
And no, I wouldn't fuck Robert De Niro's old ass. By the way, even though I
Oh,
love him, no, I wouldn't do
why?
that.
I mean,
I
he's
mean,
like the
cause he probably may not be able to fuck anymore right now. Even though he's Robert De Niro, don't mean his dick work.
but they got pills for that, Lunel. He could go and get a little blue
I
situation.
don't I don't I don't mess with people who need pills. I'm the motherfucking pill.
Hey.
ooh, bars. That's bars. Damage. You need to buy you a restaurant.
I'm the pill.
So look,
Damage needs to buy you a restaurant. That's funny.
we were talking.
But Robert, if you can have an erection and are having regular sex, congratulations, baby. I love you. Get in my DM, holler at me, because I'll give you a little bit. But I'm not saying that you're impotent. I'm saying it's possible you could be. It's possible damage could be. You never know what's going on in anybody kidneys and motherfucking spleens and balls and
Was
shit.
well, see, I don't require the use of a blue pill, but my friend did go to China. Lunel, he found these blue, red, and black pills. I ain't gonna lie, it's different levels for different type of situations. So there is a
Mm-mm.
pill. There's the black pill.
What that mean?
There's the black pill. If it's a group of y'all that got to go all day long, it'll get you all the way through.
Like if you're a porn star.
Well, I'm not a porn star, but I wanted to fuck
No,
like
but I mean,
one.
if you were a porn star, would this be something that you would want to invest in? Because there's
No,
only so many cum shots you can do in a day.
no.
True.
Listen. What I'm saying. You could take this pill. You don't have to be a porn star, but if you want to fuck like one, you can, and it will last you the entire day. But like me, you can't get on the plane and go somewhere because my dick was literally hard from New York to LA, and it was an uncomfortable
It's
situation
embarrassing.
trying to tie that bitch.
Well, then you're the one who took the pill.
Oh yeah, I took it because it was a lot. It was.
Oh, okay, because you left that part out. Well, anyway,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's actually healthy to have your dick engorged for hours, blood that could be up in your brain.
It's not.
Ooh, not
It's
He
not.
engorged.
said it's not.
It isn't. It isn't.
Yes, girl, engorged.
Ooh,
Yes.
I tasted that one now. Ooh.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what it is to be hard that long. Your dick has now become engorged with blood.
Wait, so you have a
I
podcast,
know. I
Lunel?
know about dick. I know
Wait,
about dick.
Lunel, you have
Same.
a podcast, and I haven't been on it.
That's correct. But I have only had my very first in studio guest last week, and that was Garrett Morris. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I have only, I wanted everybody to feel comfortable. But honey, if you would do me the honor of
Oh,
coming on my show, Jason, it's any Wednesday. You pick a Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. Sherman Oaks, or here at my house. I'm at my house studio right now.
yeah, I will absolutely come. Are you crazy? I'm gonna figure that out. I want to because
Any Wednesday, that'll be fire. It's only right you should come on mine.
look, listen. The in studio energy with Lunel and I is crazy. The last time you
Yeah.
were here, I asked you about Lonnie Love. I'm not going to ask you about her because every time I ask people about her, I get the same reaction. But I did want to ask you. It's COVID. You look great. The hair, I love your hair exactly how it is. The color, the texture, the length. Because I don't think I've ever seen you with hair that long.
Exactly. Nobody has. Not for fucking. Not since I was fucking. Not for years and years and years and years and years and years. I haven't had no hair. This is the longest my hair has ever. My daughter's never seen my hair this long.
But it looks really
And
good. I mean, do you
I
like
know
it?
it just grew. Yeah, it just grew during quarantine because I wasn't going to the barber shop and I wasn't letting my barber come over. So what it's gonna do? It's
Oh.
gonna grow. I just kept bleaching the shit, and then it has its own beautiful little curly soft texture, and the men love it. And then the weight loss came because I had them double knee surgeries, and I wasn't in the club drinking every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the quarantine. It's the liquor because I rehabbed from the surgeries in Texas with my sister. That bitch was cooking oxtail, neck bone, meatloaf, and shit like that. So it couldn't have been the diet. It had to be the liquor. Shit, I didn't even lose no weight when I was smoking crack cocaine. The fuck?
Wait,
Wow.
did you do you feel better after the surgery, and do you feel better after the losing the weight? Because you look great.
It has get the surgery, mostly the weight, definitely. It has given me my whole new life back, because literally when you have knee pain or hip pain, I would imagine the shit to help you walk, they, like my knees felt like every day with every little step I take, I had been hit in the knee by Tanya Harding or some shit like that. And that was terrible. No cartilage, bone on bone. It was terrible. And had I had to live the rest of my life like that, I probably wouldn't have made it another 3 years. I probably would have killed myself, literally. So
Oh.
having the surgeries has changed my life, given me my life back. I can work. I can do these multiple shows. I'm booked like a motherfucker, booked and busy, and I'm gonna be able to keep all my commitments and not be the old decrepit lady. I got my life back. Anybody that needs it need to quit fucking around with getting titties and ass and go get your motherfucking joints fixed for real.
Lunel, now that's why I said when I had gained all the weight, I had gotten to, you knew me when I was 16 years old. You knew me when I
Yes, I
was,
did. Beautiful, beautiful.
you knew this
Aw.
Jason right here. I had gained, I was up to 322 pounds. I went
Wow.
to Texas and had that surgery, and motherfuckers was on my Instagram talking about, oh, you doing it the lazy way. Bitch, I'm doing it the way I can afford. If I can pay for it, I can do what the fuck I gotta do.
Whatever helps you, with all the bitches that's doing it in this town. Do you know how many hoes I know in the industry that got cut the fuck up, chopped up during this motherfucking quarantine? Do you know? You would fall out your fucking chair. So if that's what the fuck you had to do for you, that's what you had to do. You look great, so that's the goal, right?
Right. No, and I'm so glad to hear that you're feeling better and happy because
Yes, very.
we don't talk as often as we used to because I know we're all busy, but I do think about you a lot, and I am very happy for you
Thank you.
because I really believe
Thank you.
you're the funniest female comedian I've seen ever. Like I mean, I every show she.
I done heard you say that to other bitches, nigga. Don't play me.
Woo! No, you haven't. No, you have not. Not I've not said the funniest that I've seen because I'm telling you, when you came to Stockton, I went to every single show
I
she played.
received that. That's true. That's true.
And
No, Jason and I have total history back when we was young and hungry and doing things and scrapping and fighting to get shit done. Jason was working with the kids. Jason was putting on shows. Jason was doing shit. I was hustling. I was everywhere, every motherfucking club, every motherfucking theater. I was at it. And that's how far we go back. And we're very successful now. And all praises be to Allah, honey, because we definitely put in the work.
and even though we both survived COVID, during COVID, they actually try to tell you how to manage your household with your daughter and telling you what you should or shouldn't do or how you should or shouldn't handle your daughter being in your house during COVID. What did you think about that?
No, nobody told me shit. I made the statement that, see, my daughter don't even live with me. She lives down the street. Praise God for that. But it was the coming in and out at this very crucial time. It was the coming in and out and having a boyfriend and coming in and out and coming in and out that I had said, y'all got to be in or out. But you can't keep running and bringing possible virus up in here. And that is what I had said. Nobody said that for me. I don't know how they ran it. I don't know how they spun it, but that is what happened. But of course, COVID or no COVID, a mother can't be away from a child forever.
Mm.
I can't talk to you through a screen forever. I got to touch my baby. I've been without my baby before. I've been not behind a screen, but behind bars. So I said I risk it all for her. So eventually I let her back.
That doesn't sound too bad because that's a rule I heard growing up. Don't be running in and out. That's like classic.
Before COVID, in or out, motherfucker. Don't come back in here, but do be in here before the street lights come on.
Exactly.
Wait, so you said earlier that you were on crack. I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Oh, I'm the only female comic that probably do talk about it. Yeah, I could rock up some cocaine right now. It's like riding a bike, you never forget it. And it was just that time in Oakland, man, when everybody from school teachers to bus drivers to librarians to crosswalk people, everybody was on crack cocaine. They had dropped that shit, and that shit took over in Oakland. I don't know about Stockton. I don't know about
No,
Richmond.
no, my
I
mother,
don't know about.
my mother was on it too. It was around the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How,
And it
how
was
did you get?
epidemic.
How did you
But
get
I
introduced
never
to it?
was. I always had my dignity about this shit. I did as much scandalous shit as the next motherfucker, but you would never know it. You know what I'm saying? Unless I was
Mhm.
doing scandalous shit with you. You know, and the way that you don't get busted or get TMZ to stuff. What about your crack cocaine use in the past? They talk about the shit. I ain't got no skeletons. You can't go back in my closet. My closet door is wide the fuck open. I ain't got no secrets like that. You feel me? But that's my
How'd you
power.
how did you get off of crack though? That's such a huge thing to be addicted to. And you seem like you did you go cold turkey? Did you go into a program? How did you get off of it?
I met my future husband, and 2 weeks later, I put the pipe down. I never touched it again in my life. I guess I was
Wow.
lonely and I had money. And when I met my husband, 2 weeks later, I put the pipe down. I ain't touched that motherfucking 20 years. Because we would be
And-
married 20 years in August, and we got married 90 days after we met.
Mm.
Oh, I love that. So
Sorry, damage.
romantic.
I hate to break this to you, baby. I know that you thought that maybe one day, and I was down, but I am spoken for, you know.
it's hurting me right now. It's hurting me.
Let me rub it.
Oh.
Here, come here, let mommy kiss it, make it
Damage,
feel
put your
better.
titties away, Damage. Put your
Yeah.
titties away. Is that all it took, Damage? Just a wink from Luenell? That's all it
From Lou
took?
now, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's all it took.
Listen, I have to tell you, since you were here last, you made me go and watch A Star Is Born, and I found my gay ass sitting up crying over this fucking movie that you were in. It was such a good movie. It was
Mhm.
beyond good movie. I don't even know how to really
It was
describe it.
beyond. It was beyond.
Yeah, and
It was.
and then Borat, he had another movie come out, and I was mad I didn't see you in that one because you made the first one hilarious. Do you still talk to these people after you leave? Because it's interesting watching you all have chemistry on set, and then we think in our heads you guys are somewhere hanging out at Outback Steakhouse or something, but people
Yeah.
never really link up again.
That's just like when people used to think that Angie and what was the name of all my
Oh
children?
yeah, yes,
They
yes,
used to
God.
think that they was fucking married in real life. They wanted that to happen, you know. Um, no, I don't talk to them anymore, except for Ken Davidian from time to time. There were only 5 actors in the movie: Pam Anderson, Sasha, me, um, uh, Pam Anderson, Sasha, me, Ken Davidian, and another chick that was in Baywatch, but she was only in the special features, which you could only see on the DVD or unless it's on YouTube now or something like that. As far as the second Borat goes, I was paid to be in it. And we were
Mm.
going back to Romania, which is where the Kazakhstani scenes were shot, but COVID shut us down. So they had to film the movie and get it done by the deadline the best they could. They couldn't do my shit. I don't care. I got the check, run me my coin. Now, in looking at the movie, I'm already mad because in the first movie, at the end of the first movie, he and I got married. I became the queen of Kazakhstan. We had 2 little interracial kids at our feet at the end of the movie. When he come with the new movie, his motherfucking daughter is some blonde white chick. No mention of his ex-wife. And where's your motherfucking kid? So it really wasn't a good sequel out the gate because they wasn't addressing our motherfucking marriage, which was real. You understand?
Right.
I remain the queen of Kazakhstan.
And when he married you in the first movie, you was a hoe, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely a hoe. He found me in the phone book, if you will recall.
Oh my God, I live for
Definitely
you.
a hoe. Definitely
Oh,
a
definitely.
hoe.
And there are so many stories just about even buying the wardrobe, being in the South, walking on dirt roads in stiletto heels, being on white folks' porch and knocking on their door when a black person they never even been through their front door before, being in houses where you saw black folks in their real kitchen, mansion, successionist, Confederate flag, all that shit. That's the houses that we filmed in, and you had to go to a new house if you wanted to shoot a scene again because you couldn't do it to that family again because they didn't know. They thought they were doing a documentary. We always got kicked out the house and they called the police always. And I mean, it's the psychoest shit I've ever done. My little ass sitting on Crenshaw one day and on a plane to Bucharest, Romania the next day to do some shit called Borat, and I didn't even know what it was. and then it drops the same time I'm on tour with Cat Williams. So that was more money, more money,
Hey.
more money. It's the most lucrative film I've done in my career.
Wait, when you saw the scene with Rudy Giuliani and his pants and all that, what did you think? Because you did the
I
movie.
was like, oops, you're busted. Oops, you're busted. Because that's Sasha's whole thing is to show America what motherfuckers are saying, thinking, and feeling when they think nobody's looking. He rips the fucking little curtain off the bullshit. And Giuliani thought he was about to get served by that little young girl. Yes, he did. Awkward. It was awkward. You explain that one. Ricky, explain that one to Lucy because that shit was awkward. You're nasty and you're old and you're nasty and you low key pedophile, nigga.
What do you think? What do you think about Ti and Tiny and all the people that's coming out saying that they, took advantage of them? Some minors, some drugged, some raped, allegedly.
I'd rather not comment on that subject if you don't mind.
Okay, that's a first for you, Luenell, to not comment on something.
Yeah, I got my reason.
I respect that. Okay, so let's talk about the Wall of Fame induction at the Comedy Store because
Yes.
not a lot of people can
Ah,
be hung there. How important was that for you to leave your mark there?
after all the hustling that a chick has to do in this business, for me, that felt like me getting my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You know,
Mm.
I've been to that club with my suitcase before. I've stood in front of that club waiting for people who said I could stay with them before. I've worked my way from room to room to room in that club. I worked my way up to where I can actually park in the back. I thought that when they revealed our names, which big names were not up there, Cedric and Kim Whitley and Guy and Joe Torre and all these kind of things. I thought that the area of wall where our names were, I thought they were just being revealed for photos and that they were going to take that and put it in the back of the club. I really didn't believe that they were going to have our names on the front of the club where you have to pass us to go in, you know? It's a hugely big honor for me. And I know I've been working hard enough and working in that club to deserve it. I'm glad that it happened. You know, that was Guy Torrey that made that happen. Just like, they never would have thought to put our names up. They didn't give a fuck. But Guy fought for us. But it's just like with Tyler having the sound stages dedicated to all those black icons. Out of all the movies that Cecily Tyson, Halle Berry, um, Ossie Davis, and Ruby Dee, and Whoopi Goldberg, out of all the movies that they've done for Paramount, Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, none of those studios would have never ever given a fucking thought to put none of their names on the side of a garage, let alone a motherfucking soundstage. And Tyler did that and did it while Cecily was alive to see it. Anything I've ever said about Tyler Perry, I've already taken it back. That motherfucker's a boss and a G, and he did that.
Mm.
That's
Amen.
crazy. When you say that, I never even put it in that perspective before. Because I've said
Well, there it is.
I've said
Mm-hmm.
a lot about Tyler too. I'm not going to take it back though, because I do think he's the first, well, not the first drag queen, but he's the second most successful drag queen in the business. But I do
Who's
agree.
the
Like
first one?
Drew,
RuPaul.
RuPaul.
What about Flip Wilson?
Was
Oh, you
Flip
took
Wilson
it
a drag
back.
queen?
What about Geraldine, honey?
Geraldine
Geraldine
was
and her
major.
boyfriend Killer. Yeah.
Wait,
Hmm
wait,
Give props where they go. We gotta give props where they go. You know what I mean?
wait. Flip Wilson was a drag queen. I didn't know that.
He
hmm
had a character called Geraldine that was extremely popular. Extremely. Geraldine was in a dress every week, had a boyfriend named Killer. Was sexy and slinky, and that was Flip Wilson in that dress and wig.
She
Well,
was the original Medea.
She would be mad at you for saying that. Geraldine fancies herself way sexier than Medea.
okay, well,
True.
Tyler, you're in the top three. But no, I think that's great. I didn't ever thought about in that context that, like, he did come from nothing and build such a significant imprint in the culture, and then to be able to honor our people. And I was mad.
Yeah, and we filmed, I'm sorry, but we filmed Coming to America on that lot. So every day we pass those sound stages. We saw the iconic shit. It was a certain sense of pride every day when you went to work there. And the fact that this used to be a Confederate Army base that this black man bought, which is
Mhm.
bigger than Paramount, Sony, Warner Brothers, and the other fucking studio I just mentioned,
Together.
all put together.
Yeah.
His studio is bigger than theirs all put together.
Yeah, we
So he did that.
we shot Wildin' Out on that lot. I don't know if you took the tour to go back and see like all the houses.
Of course I did. That's Maxineville.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is
And
amazing.
named after his mother. And those houses aren't just the front like they are at Universal when they did whatever that show they used to do. Um, those were just the fronts of houses. All Tyler's houses are built to spec. They have running water, air conditioning, and heat. And when he was still making movies during COVID, I heard that you come there with your family if you want. You take a COVID test and you go to one of those houses, and that is where you stay until the movie is finished filming, so you don't be going in and out, in and out. Bring your family because your houses can accommodate everybody. Is that
So,
something? That's something.
so have you thought
That's what I'm
about
talking
doing
about.
another stand-up show, like a special? Because I feel like we need something right now that's just raw and just Luenell.
Well, of course, there's things in the works, but see, I am not doing a special for anybody unless it's really fucking special. See, I come from the era because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers got specials, and you never heard from them again. They ain't nobody. They just did a special, but it wasn't special. I want my
Mm.
special to be special. The specials back in the day, if you did a special, no, if you did like Carson or you did Arsenio or something like that, then the next day like you had some kind of deal and you would do a special, you'd be off to the races, then you get a sitcom and all that kind of shit. But these specials ain't doing nothing for nobody. So as talented as I feel I am, I want my motherfucking money. I want to be paid justly. I want to do it for some major thing, not no shade on Hulu and stuff like that, but I want my shit, big. Showtime, Netflix, HBO, something like that, something major. And I want to film it in Oakland, by the way, at the Fox Theater, and that's what I want. And until I can get what I want, I'm okay not doing the special. To let all these other hacks do one and get the fuck out the way for when Mama comes through, and I'm gonna show you how it's done.
Amen.
Now, we love you here at Hollywood Unlocked and want you to always come back anytime that you want, even if we're not talking about shit, but the air. And you look good. And I hope you're not out there trying to make no COVID babies because I know you got some man
Oh.
other than Eddie Winslow stopping by.
Let me tell you something. If I get pregnant, you get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Because I'm gonna be so paid if I get pregnant. Shit, I already had a baby by a comedian. I'm not gonna. I'm not going. That ship. That ship has sailed. But damage, I always did want you to do some damage.
Oh, okay.
I always thought damage was cute with a pretty smile. He thought I was playing. I'm just because of old lady. But baby, let me tell you something, son. Uh, you are a very cute young man. And
Thank
if
you.
you ever need a soft shoulder to cry on one lonely rainy night, I just want you to know that I'm only a phone call away, baby.
Yeah, I'll be in the
What
neighborhood
about me?
tomorrow.
You just gave up on me?
That took a turn.
Yes,
I love it.
yes, Jason. That's like incest. You're like my brother. Fuck out of here.
Exactly. Jay,
Well,
chill,
and I'm
man.
gay.
Chill.
I'll drive damage to your house, Luenell. How about that? I'll just be the chauffeur.
You just
Like,
want to watch. You freak ass.
I
knew
do.
you was a big old freak. I knew you
You
was a
can
big
tell.
old freak. Yeah, it's the
tell.
baby face. You may fool some, but you don't fool me. Take one and no one. I get it.
She's on to me. Oh my god.
She got
okay.
you.
Well, listen, the Hey Lunel podcast and YouTube series, you got to go check it out. And I'm going to officially make my way over there now that I've.
Yes.
Okay. And come back anytime, Lunel. For anything.
And you guys follow me on Instagram if you like. And it's just at Luenell on Instagram, Luenell. I wish you all the best. Stay healthy. Don't let nobody get on your motherfucking nerves. Drop motherfuckers like a hot potato if you have to, because it ain't no more. Ain't nobody got time for playing. If you come out of this quarantine the same as you went in, you've already lost the battle. We ought to be having new breath, new attitude, new energy, new everything. The go-getters need to fucking go get it. Quit being passive and Let's go get our shit. It belongs to us, damn it.
Yes, let's go. I love
Ain't
that.
nothing else to be said after that. We love you, Luenell.
We love you.
Peace, everybody. Thank you, Jason. Damage.
Bye. All right, look, that was a great show. And make sure you keep coming back because we got all types of amazing interviews and topics that are going to make you go crazy.
That's right. That means like, subscribe, do everything you need to do to make sure you stay up to date with what we got going on.
And ladies, stay tuned in because you know I have your back.
And listen, make sure that you're commenting below because even though I say I don't read it on the show, that's all I do when it's over. Peace.